Hello, everyone. Hello. Today's a Bank of England live analysis. So let me just, firstly, let's put on our calendar, right, as usual, just to keep ourselves up to date with what's going on. We had some volatility, actually significant volatility today, especially in gold. I have seen, so Okay, perfect. Perfect. We are good to go. So the announcement has already released, but I decided to do a post, let's say, or during the announcement analysis, just to discuss a bit about the aftermath of the release, because anyway, it was something that was widely expected. So this is a Bank of England live analysis. Obviously, we can cover as many assets as you wish, as always. Okay, I'm gonna focus firstly on cable. Okay, and on discussing a bit together, guys. The not only the pound reaction, but in general, the Bank of England stance, the UK economy, and so on and so forth. So feel free, as usual, to add, let's say, anything, to comment any asset that you want me to cover, or even to discuss with me. I mean, tell me your opinion, tell me anything, just put it on the comments below the YouTube, or if you're using Twitter, the comments below the live as well. I can see everything, so feel free. So, as I was about to say, guys, Bank of England was widely expected basically to cut interest rates, as we already know. So that was a bit like a done deal. However, we still have seen, as you can see, my 15 minutes chart of here. I'm gonna zoom in a bit so you can see everything. This is a pound for a 15 minutes chart. Hello, Jan. Hello, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Sipusiso, is that why crypto rose recently? No, we had actually Japan slow down this morning as well. Let's not forget that okay, there's no clarity in regards to the date, but Mr. Trump, and we're going to have a Trump and Putin summit. That's also something that is it's in the news today. So, but I can see that my Bitcoin over here is like really consistent with the channel that we have put on the position the last 2 weeks. So it's still like moving within this down channel. Okay, I can see that the last 2 hours we had this rally, let's say, this another swing high. Let me check something. Whether I don't believe this is a Bank of England related news, because as I said, it was widely expected to cut rates more or less. I cannot be sure. I cannot tell right now. I'm not quite sure whether it's Mr. Trump once again. Actually, it is Mr. Trump. Just now, I've seen in Bloomberg, guys, that Mr. Trump will sign an executive order today to allow private equity, real estate, cryptocurrencies, and other alternative assets in the 401 plans. Basically, it's the retirement plans that the US residents have. So the Americans have. So yeah, Bitcoin rallied because Bloomberg just reported that today Mr. Trump will will allow, let's say, will sign an order allowing cryptocurrencies to be included in the retirement plans, in the 401. 401s, basically, guys, I'm not sure whether it's like a global thing, but it's a retirement account, company sponsored, so it's by the employer. Okay, but yeah, it's I think everyone in US has one, but not quite sure. Uh, Yeah, so that's the thing. That's something that boosted Bitcoin, and cryptos in general, as I can see over here. Very interesting, very interesting. We knew that he's like crypto friendly, but I wasn't expecting definitely like something like that for sure. Okay, very interesting. So nice. Broken the midline, by the way, Zibusiso. Broken the midline, broken the previous resistance at 115712. That's a 4 hour chart, by the way. The momentum is a bit weak. Not really, yeah, momentum perspective looks a bit weak, even though stochastic supports the short-term rally. Okay, that's good. And we have Hakenashis, no tails at the bottom, parabolics are below the price, bullish bearish cross of the three moving averages that they have. So yeah, intraday in the very short time frame, such as the 1 hour chart, it seems that there is further room on the upside, by the way, for Bitcoin. But let me get back to pound. So this time I analyzed your crypto first. So hopefully you are happy with it. Oh, you want Ripple as well. Um, okay. You should share with us once what kind of a setup you have for your crypto trades. What kind of indicators you're using, if you're using any. What works for you? That would be a very interesting topic to discuss, because I can see that you're like a crypto expert. Okay, regarding Ripple, that looks to me like a hummingbird formation. You see that Bollingers look like a hummingbird. Have you ever heard the hummingbird formation? Um, okay, it's not something that we see often. Um, sorry. Okay, perfect. Yeah, hummingbird formation. This is how it looks. It looks like, at least. um, so let me see. Let me see what's going on over here. Okay, so overall, that's a daily chart. We have a really a big decline in the bullish bias. So it means that sellers are in control still. Okay, so if I measure the pullback, I'm gonna take it from the very beginning, okay, just to put some trend lines on, just to help me a bit. So right now we are back, okay. The assets sustain the 50% retracement, so that's a good thing overall. Not bad either. I mean, just for the just to spot whether we are still in a bullish outlook. So overall, we can see that regardless of this big decline that we have seen in January and July, Repo managed to keep the 50% to sustain and move above the mid of this latest upper leg. Sorry. So if I just put the weekly chart on, you can see that it sustains and move above, let's say, at the higher area of the last 2 years. Okay, of the last, basically, yeah, of 2024 and so far this year. Okay, so but let me see. So if I just zoom in further, just to analyze a bit, just to help me with that's perfect. Okay, right now It's basically at the 23%. It should be somewhere there. Okay, so that's not an indication for a move higher yet. Actually, my bad. It has already reverted more than 38% of the losses that we have seen in July. So that's a sign, that's a bullish sign for the time being. It's above 308 level, trying to cross the 38.2 Fibonacci level. That's really interesting. Let me zoom in further. Okay, so what we are seeing, momentum is really weak. Okay, let me see intraday what's going on. Okay, okay. See, let's see. Okay, dear, we have been on the upside the whole week. Okay, it seems that it looks to me, other than the fact that this area over here is the 38.2 Fibonacci level, and a crossing above it opens the door to 50%, 61%, and so on and so forth. But other than that, this looks to me, I don't know about you guys, but it looks to me, this is Repo, guys, for anyone that is just joining, Repo, just for the sake of uh, uh, just because Zibusiso asked for it, and I decided this time to do the cryptos first because it was a really shame on me of me not to like leave it at the very end of each session. So yeah, so yeah, it looks like a head and shoulders, doesn't it? An inverse head and shoulders, and this is the neckline. So that breakout is crucial because that it could be a sign of a reversal, not just the back to the 50 or 61%, but back to the highs that we have seen back in the mid of July. Okay, it's an inverse head and shoulders. I know the MACD is not convincing yet, but I mean it's not bullish to support this view. But RSI is above 50, so we are seeing that there is an increasing bullish bias. Okay, and that coincides with the inverse head and shoulders, and even head and shoulders is a bullish formation. And let me check something as well. Even though MACD, it's a bit like it's still negative, it posted higher low. Okay, so okay, we need to keep an eye on it, but definitely we need a break above this neckline, above the 38.2%, in order to suggest a reversal back to 330, even 360 territory. Okay. Now, in the very short term, my dear friend, like 15 minutes chart. This is a 15 minutes chart in repo, bullish bias, stochastic overbought. So there is still some room to the upside. However, the asset is overbought. So if I just rely a bit on my indicator, it seems that we need a bit of a sideways movement to re-enter the Bollingers before another attempt to the upside. However, a positive intraday picture as well. So let's get back to pound, however. Okay, I'm returning back to pound. I'm going to put it as a caption so that anyone could follow what we're currently doing. Okay, okay, I'm on it on gold as well. Just allow me to cover gold for the sake of Bank of England news, and I will get back to gold again. Okay, so this is the cable. I'm using Heiken Ashes over here. You know that they are my favorites, especially for such a short time frame, such as the 15 minutes chart. Okay, as I was saying, it was widely expected that they were about to cut rates, and indeed they delivered. So 4% interest rate now. They cut 25 points. Okay. However, the voting is quite important every time. The voting, I mean, to see whether this is a unanimous unanimous decision or not, or there is deviation within the bank. So what I can see is a 5-4, which has missed expectations. So the expectations were that we're gonna have only two members of the Bank of England voting for no change, and seven of them to vote for a rate cut. However, we see that this was a bit 50-50. So we have five people supporting a rate cut and four people, four members, parliament members, voting for no change in the rates. So we can see that it was a 50-50, and this is what actually affected the pound, and not the rate decision as such, is the fact that there is a split into half of the Bank of England, um, uh, of the Monetary Policy Committee, basically. The Monetary Policy Committee is split it into two, let's say, parties, uh, 5-4. That's interesting. So there are people insisting on keeping the rates unchanged. Okay, that's really interesting. Really, really interesting. Um, so, okay. And this is what actually added was not as that added this support on the pound. Okay, this is what added this support on the pound. The fact, because if we have a rate cut, okay, that this is basically this is adding pressure. This is theoretical, should add pressure on the country's currencies, right? It should depreciate it. But instead, we have seen the exact opposite scenario. And this is because of the four people that they voted for no change in the policy. This is basically gives an indication that for the upcoming meetings, the pressure for no change on the policy will be even higher. Okay, so that's why we have seen pound benefiting a bit on the announcement, not significantly, but we had a bit of a sweet, quick rally to 134.30 territory. Okay, let me just do a bit of an analysis. Let's take it step by step. Okay, as you already know, let me just. Okay. As you already know, we had discussed last week about the possibility of a complete reversal of pound dollar in the long term. And why is that? I did mention, look at that we have been in a rally the whole year, right? Remember, this is the daily chart, by the way, daily chart. I shifted back to the daily because I want to do proper technical analysis, starting from the high to the lowest time frame. So we had a huge rally, right? The whole year. We had a nice decisive breakout, like by the end of June, beginning of July. So that was a very first sign that something is changing, that this might be the beginning of a new downtrend, right? Instead, we've seen some kind of a rebound, a reversal back. So this looks like a head and shoulders formation, increasing the odds of a downtrend. And actually, this looks to be the case. It looks to be, regardless of the short term reversal, okay, the short term rebounds that we're seeing, it seems that we have the beginning of a new downtrend. Okay, let me squeeze it a bit. Standard deviation is quite big for this one. No, I need an even better one. This is the best one. Okay, perfect. But so we had many bearish signals. The breakout of the trend line over here, the head and shoulder formation, and the fact that it was broken. This is the neckline, it broken and extended lower lows, lower highs, negative MACD. So have in mind, guys, that overall cable, it seems that it has entered a bearish outlook. Okay, so I'm keeping this setup on, and I move on to the 1 hour chart just to see, to the 4 hour chart, sorry, just to see, okay, where I'm standing right now. Perfect. So far in August, we have a rebound and a retest of the ceiling of this channel. Okay, this is the ceiling of the channel. It's been retested. Okay, uh, momentum is positive though, but we don't have a confirmation for a closure above it. So let's keep an eye on it. Okay, so far, guys, what we're getting that we are in a downtrend, right? The asset today is retesting the top of this channel. Okay, so something that could destroy, let's say, the bearish scenario, it will be only if and only if we see the asset extending above the channel, so above 134.50 territory. And also tomorrow we have another bullish candle moving further higher, confirming that the down channel has been rejected. That would be the only case. So for the time being, it's just retesting it. Even if it breaks it, it needs to be sustained above it in order to signal a potential, let's say, the end of this downtrend. Now, intraday. Let me know if this is confusing. I'm gonna go through it again, everything one by one. Now let's focus on the intraday things, on the really 30 minutes chart. So we have seen the asset consolidating the whole day. In general, the markets were consolidating a lot this morning because there was a lack of data. So as soon as we had the very first headlines, not only for Bank of England, but in general for Mr. Trump, the upcoming summit. So we have seen some like volatility later on due to the headlines. But regarding pound, it was consolidating the whole morning. Actually, yeah, the whole morning until the Bank of England announcement. So this bounce was due to the Bank of England announcement. So I can see in the 30 minutes chart that, let me see. Okay, that the let me just, okay, the momentum is positive, as you can see. There is a bullish cross of the stochastics over here. Oops, sorry. And moving averages are pointing higher. So that means that there is a bit of a more room to the upside. However, because it's already halfway, I'm going to zoom in further on the 15 minutes chart to see whether this is indeed the case. So, okay, momentum is still positive. Stochastic shows a bit of a slowdown, but parabolic SAR still supports the asset. Okay, so it seems that there is still some support. Not much though, not much. So, okay. Yes, dears, we need to wait for this candle to close. It will close in 3 minutes just to take a decision whether this rally run out of steam or whether there is a further room on the upside. However, if indeed this candle close as big as we see it right now, this suggests that there is some further room on the upside. And I mean, when I'm referring to the upside, I'm referring to 134 30. Let me put the ATR, that will help us as well. ATR is still on. Let's put the 15 minutes chart. So ATR is at 12 points. Okay, so another 12 pips. Yeah, a bit of a limited move, but why not? Why not? So yeah, as I was saying, as expected, let me refresh the newsfeed and see also your comments. I'm gonna get back to pound in a bit. Let's go through gold because yeah, it had significant actually volatility. We have seen significant volatility in gold today. So okay, here we are. Okay, remember, just a quick reminder, guys. Quick reminder that, where is gold? Gold, okay. Quick reminder regarding this ascending triangle with a flat top that I have, okay. I know that it's broken, but the fact that it hasn't re-entered the triangle is something that I keep an eye on, okay. Just to identify any reversal lower. Also, another crucial level, it will be here, somewhere here, okay, because this is a really persistent and stubborn like floor. Okay, so if we see a reversal the next few days, that could open the doors to 3260 level. Okay, have this in mind. For the time being, it's just consolidating and 3381. There is a lack of momentum. So, however, pullback break of 3350 could open the doors to 3260 level. Now, okay. Okay. So, let's get back to the intraday setup. And what we are seeing is there was a significant, basically, swing high earlier. Why is that? It's basically tariffs once again. That was initially this morning, basically, just early in the European Open. That was it. This is what happened over here. That's on the European Open. Just okay. Remember that Mr. Trump announced that companies producing goods in the US will be eligible for exceptions from the proposed levies in the US chip imports. Okay, this is what happened overnight and improved the sentiment slightly. But in general, the why we have seen this push, let's say, why we have seen initially this bounce, let's say, of gold higher, is related with tariffs once again. So that's, let me just, not anything that Mr. Trump announces regarding regarding the tariffs is affecting immediately the safe havens such as such as gold. Sorry, for the time being, it completely these gains that we have seen in the European Open have been completely reversed. Okay, and gold is back to 3380 level. So we have seen that was a short-lived rally, quickly reverted back and is back to 33.81 level. For the time being, there is no clarity in regards to the direction of gold intraday. We're getting a lot of consolidation once again. You can see the momentum is lagging, is flat. So it's just consolidating. Okay, this is the 1 hour chart. There is the high of the day is 33.97, the low of the day is 33.65. What I want you to have in mind regarding intraday setups such as 1 hour and 4 hour one, okay, 4 hour charts, are basically this repeated floor here, okay. This is a demand zone. Also, let me gonna change the setup over here. Okay, yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, I want to add, sorry guys, just a second, give me a second. Okay, the reason why I went back to this setup is because I want you to see very, very carefully. Okay, this zone here, we discussed about it earlier, 3260 level. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it and go down to the 4 hour chart. I would like also okay, I'm keeping the 50 exponential moving average. And I would like to see also the 101. I'm gonna put the 200 with. Okay, perfect, perfect. So okay, let's see. Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful because it seems that we have some nice. Can you see? I zoom into the 1 hour chart using my using exponential moving average, but this time I kept the 50, 100, and 200. And this looks that it provides some nice support layers. Can you see that, guys? Some nice support layers over here. We have seen that this is the last 3 hours while it was reverting all the gains that we have seen in the European Open. It finds support at the 50 exponential moving average, at the 15 at the 1 hour chart. Oops. Okay, perfect. So that means, let me see. Okay, no, I don't need that one. That's good. Okay, that means that it's well supported. So that could indicate some another swing high. Let me see. MACD neutral to positive, positive to neutral, not really this supporting, but at least it's positive. RSI the same, it's barely just slightly above 50 steep slope is not enough. It doesn't look like, it doesn't provide a nice like strong momentum, and that's a bit difficult. So I'm gonna, so yeah, it seems that we have some not exactly mixed signals, but not as strong as they're supposed to. So the fact that the asset was well supported the last 4 hours and it found some kind of a support at the 50 exponential moving average, that indicates that there is some support, there is some bullish bias. Also, the fact that we are seeing MACD holding above zero, that's quite positive as well. RSI is really close to 52, so the slope is not perfect either. So it seems that there is some bullishness going on, but we need further confirmation. Okay, dear, we need further confirmation. Overall, though, overall consolidation persists, and overall we have a neutral to negative bias instead. It's the vice versa. But intraday, yeah, intraday is a different story. I'm gonna use high Kenashi. I'm gonna revert back to high Kenashi just to see whether, sorry, just a second. Where it's gold, 15 minutes chart. Okay, 15 minutes chart, gold, using high Kenashis. So we have our very first bullish candle, right? High Kenashi candle with no tail at the bottom after consolidation. So, and however, look at this. No. That's not good. That's not good. We're getting contradictory signals, guys. So you need to be very careful. This is a 15-minute chart gold, okay? 15-minute chart in gold using high Kenashi just to see whether I have any indication right now. But it seems that you need to wait intraday, at least for scalping strategies, etc. You need to wait. There is a lack of clarity. You see a lot of doji candles indicating that there is like the momentum is like getting weak and weaker. We have the very first bullish candle with no tail at the bottom. Also, the parabolic SAR changes direction. So both the body of the candle along with the parabolic SAR suggest some upcoming rally. However, MACD and stochastic and moving averages are showing the exact opposite thing. They became a bit flattened, and even point further down. So that raised question whether this move was limited. It looks limited. If we don't see at least another swing high extending above the previous high, above the 3383 level, then there is an indication that that this rally was just really limited. It's not enough. It's not enough for sure. Really limited, and there's a lack of clarity, I'm afraid. Where's stochastics? No, not something that no. Very mixed signals, to be honest, from my side at least. Okay, stochastic points higher, but that doesn't coincide with neither moving averages, neither MACD, but more precisely moving average, and the fact that this candle, it failed to extend higher and it failed to keep like a no tail high Kenashi, which is crucial. The fact that it has tails on both directions, on both sides indicates indecision. So there is a lack of direction for gold, I'm afraid. Possibly it's Mr. Trump again, because he has a lot of we have a lot of news in the news feed. So That's why we have lack of clarity. And it's not only Mr. Trump. Okay, Mr. Bagley is also on stage, the governor, the Bankovian governor, but it's Mr. Peasant as well. So 12 minutes ago, Mr. Peasant said that trade deals are largely done. Did he say? The biggest trade reset was the China trade shock. I don't think this is the biggest trade reset since 1935. 1935. Regulation pushed US manufacturing offshore. 300 billion is a good start for annual tariff revenue estimate. Okay, they estimate that we're gonna benefit, the US will gonna benefit from all these trade deals, a profit up to 300 billions. Okay. Nothing new, but there was a comment done just now, and along with Mr. Trump, oh my God, he's keep tweeting. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, Mr. Trump is just putting in his newsfeed all the time some comments accusing CEO of Intel for conflict. He calls him to resign. Also, he said that, what is that? He commented on Middle East situation. Okay, that is what caused all this uncertainty for gold. Is Mr. Trump once again? Okay, guys. Let me see. So yeah, as expected. So yeah, there's no bullish signal over here. More of a consolidation, it looks to me, at least in the 15 minutes chart for the time being, but also in a higher time frame. So yeah, a bit of a disappointment, a bit of a small body candle sideways movements. So be very careful. Okay, be very careful. There is lack of clarity, and possibly the US Open could help us a bit. But for the time being, yes, there is nothing really. It's just consolidation. Just moving within 33.82 and 33.71. There is a bearish cross for anyone that is interested in the 15 minutes chart. Okay, however, not confirmed yet. So let me see. Okay, no, this is a 5 minutes chart. Down, further room on the upside, or the downside, sorry, but the parabolics are really close to each other, so yeah. No, 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 no. Let me see your questions. Jobless claims prediction. Okay, we have 50 minutes, 45 minutes until jobless claims, but let me see let me see. Okay, there. So let's see jobless claims. Okay, July's jobs report, by the way, we've seen it last week. It was an FP. It was an outsized one regarding weakness and hefty labor force declines, and etc. So, um, so the jobs was really weak last week. Now, regarding jobless claims today, what's expected is basically is expected to see further grow, let's say, of jobless claims. So at 225, 221, 221,000 new jobless claims are expected today. Okay, actually, economy is calling for an even higher number. Okay, and that's what is expected. So remember that this will just strengthen the signal that jobs have slowed down, like Fed wished. So that would be basically that's a bearish news from from policy perspective. So this should be, let's say, this should add further downside pressure on the Fed um, to ease its policy, to proceed with its rate cuts, with further rate cuts. So, yeah, the continuation of higher than expected jobless claim, the increase of unemployment, and any signs that suggest slowdown of labor market in US will be enough to finally convince the Fed to proceed with rate cuts. So we need a rate adjustment within the upcoming in the upcoming months for sure. I feel this was the very last time that the Fed could keep rates unchanged. They need to act. They need to act. So initial claims, yeah, if they show weakness, further weakness in the labor market, so higher than expected jobless claims, adds pressure on the labor market sector. And this is something that indicates basically increase the odds of a possible rate cut next month. So this is something that should, let's say, add a bit of a pressure on dollar. However, dollar in general, it's like, where is it? Okay, here we are. Dollar in general is in a downtrend the whole year. Okay, so some of this part of these rate adjustments have already been priced in. By the way, guys, we had, that was a good call. Okay, and it's over. By the way, it's something that we have seen last 2 weeks ago. I don't remember, but yeah, we had this on, and now it's reverting back. Oh, that's the dollar, by the way. Just let me see your questions. Actually, I don't want to just euro dollar. Okay. Gold, pound, yen. Meeting about Mr. Okay, just a second. You're too many, so just a second. Zibus is just a swing trader. Thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you. Okay. I see. I saw your question, guys. Okay, just a second. Okay. Okay. By the way, just an update on cable. Okay. An update on cable 444 was put it. Someone asked about cable, isn't it? Hello, why cable is bullish after the release? This is something that we have already discussed. But this bullishness, it was limited, as you can see. There is a bit of a consolidation at 134 level right now. Okay, there is some consolidation at 134 level. However, momentum is quite strong. Okay, so let's wait and see. However, guys, this is a 15 minutes chart, by the way. Momentum is quite strong, so we might see some correction before another attempt to the upside. So this looks to be like a nice floor, okay? But you need to wait for a bigger candle, and also ideally a cross of stochastics, a bullish leg, because now it's pointing a bit lower. This is because of this consolidation, this correction right now, the last 30 minutes, but is well supported. And the reason why a pound is supported after the release is because of the voting, mainly the fact that the Bank of England is splitted. It's not an unanimous voting, and that indicates that there is the need of unchanged policy of holding rates unchanged for a while. Okay, that's why pound has been supported. Okay, and actually is still well supported. This is just, it seems like a correction to me, but the fact that it sustains its gains is positive. um, yeah, so yeah, you might see further support, like Mr. During Mr. Bailey's comments, because he's commenting, he's speaking, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. Let me see some important notes. Gradual and careful approach, as everyone is saying. Timing and pace of future easing will depend on inflation developments. Okay, again, they are data dependent. Rates are definitely on a downwards path. Neutral rate is still too uncertain to speculate. Monetary policy is still restrictive. Okay, he's saying that he hasn't changed his view on the overall direction of the rate path. The uncertainty is more so question of the period of time it will take instead. So, um, okay. So he didn't really commented on the fact that they had to go 2 rounds in order to decide what they're gonna do. He didn't comment at all. Um, so the fact that there is such a big difference in the view on the extent of rate cuts, and has caused this split within the members of the voting members. He didn't comment on that, but the fact that we have seen this vote split, it just strengthens, as I said earlier, the possibility in September to have an unchanged rate decision, so a pause of rate cuts. That is supportive for the pound. Okay, this is what benefits the pound. Okay, Bruce, this is what it benefits the pound. And it seems that there is further room on the upside. So it could retest again the 134.30 level. Yeah. So let's get back to euro. Actually, let's do some euro dollar, because yeah, no one asked except from Games. Thank you for bringing that up, dear. We have in general, we have nice moves. I mean, in clear moves in the market lately, but euro dollar actually it's in a decline for the whole morning. The last, okay, not the whole, but definitely the last like 3 hours, more than 3 hours. So and the candles are getting bigger and bigger. So it seems that there is a lot of bearish bias. You can see how big this candle gets. You can see the parabolic SAR is above. You can see that my MACD turned negative. You can see that even though stochastic look oversold, however, we are getting we got another bearish cross, and we are actually right now is at the 20 level, indicating that there is still weakness. So let me, okay, so yeah, moving average also point on the downside. So yeah, the euro dollar, it seems that there has further room on the downside. And let me go higher a bit. Okay, sorry, ignore this is wrong. I don't know why there was over there. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. So a level that you should have on your charts, the 115.60. Okay, why? Because it used to be a resistance, a support, so sorry, back in July, but a significant resistance back in April and May. Okay? Okay, so have this in mind. Now, I would like to put some lines on just to measure a bit what's going on. Reach the 161, just slightly above it, converted, and is back actually, and is back higher, extended, broken the 116. Actually, is okay. Okay. So overall, there is some consolidation. Okay, overall, but let's see. We have some lower lows, lower highs. Okay, so I'm gonna put my trend line on just to monitor any potential breakout, but that's for next time. Okay, so that okay, so okay, that's interesting. Ranging yesterday and during the Asia session, basically the whole day yesterday was like sideways at 115.30, 116 level. The 116 level broken, sorry, not yesterday, that was on Monday. Yesterday the 116 level broken, okay, broken like before the US session, and since then we're seeing extending higher. So okay, so positive, a bit of a consolidation the last 4 hours. Momentum looks still a bit strong. There is indeed a reversal, and there is a bearish cross as well. Okay, so very interesting to identify whether this is like a short-lived pullback or whether it's a reversal. But for the time being, it looks like it's a reversal, a correction basically. But the thing is, like, will it manage to return back to 116 level? Will it find some support at 116? Let me put the line on, round number. Okay. It seems like it. It seems that there is further room on the downside, but there is an immediate support at 116.20 for the time being. Okay, so okay. bearish. Correction, really bearish, lower lows. So let me check. Okay. Okay, guys. It seems that there is an increasing bearish bias for euro dollar. Okay. It hasn't like it's far away from 116 level, but the next immediate support level is at the latest swing low, so another 10 pips lower, 116.30 and 116.21. Okay, these are the next support levels before 116. MACD is negative, moving average keep pointing lower, parabolics are above the price. But however, the fact that MACD for the first time this week, actually for the first time this week, it turned negative again. So the whole week was positive. The fact that it turned negative, it could suggest that there is further room on the downside. Yeah. And stochastic, it remains like below 20. There is no bullish cross or something to suggest that this is the end of the downtrend. So euro dollar is in a correction mode, is on the downside, is in a pullback. Intraday, in the very, very short time frame, the overall picture has not changed. The overall picture suggests that the asset is in a rally the last 4 days, and it could retest the 117.30 level, but that's the overall picture. Intraday, however, in the very short time frame, it seems that there is, for the next few minutes, top of the hour, there is some further room on the downside for euro dollar. Obviously, volatility will get back as soon as US market opens. So we still getting a lot of news in our news feed. Bank of England governor still comments. I'm commenting, still on stage and taking questions. But remember that this was now let's get back to pound. This was more of a less okay. So another third candle to the upside. We don't have like strong bodies yet for pound, but the fact that it had another relative high suggests that bulls are back in control. Okay, that's cable. Remember, this is more of a, let's say, hawkish, let's say, cut. Because of the voting, because of the comments. So yeah. And this is the first time ever that the Bank of England is doing 2 rounds of voting in order to reach a majority decision. That's why it was interpreted as a hawkish cut, and that's why it supported pound. But I can see. Let's see. You're doing good, no bullshit TV. You're doing good. This is still sorry. Let's get back to euro. Yeah. Properties. Shows trade, bid and ask. Okay, here we are. Trump threatens India with 50% tariffs. Will that cause a massive impact on the market or India economy? Not as big. It will. It will. On India economy at least. In the market, not so much. Okay, because um, like India, even though it's a huge economy, is not one of the major economies. The major economies are China, US, and Europe. But it's US and China. These are the two biggest economies in the world. Okay, that's why there was a lot of fussle around tariff and trade talks. So with India, indeed, this could, let's say, shake a bit the local stocks. Okay, uh, um, but I believe that they will reach to a deal, because if he managed to find a deal and reach to a deal with the rest of the major countries, they will reach to a deal. He is threatening, but yeah, it won't affect the markets as such. The major pairs as we know them, euro dollar, pound dollar, etc. It could cause some fear, let's say, on the local stock market, but there won't be a significant impact into the global market, and they will reach to a deal, because the fact that uh, they partially, let's say, are done with the trade deals, with the trade talks. And he did mention, Peasant mentioned that. He said that we're largely done with we're largely done with the trade deals. So and the fact that there was an agreement, at least a kind of an agreement with China, was huge. Um, so I don't think that they will definitely find a solution with India as well. They are threatening just to push. It's just all about like public speaking, politics, threatens just verbally, but in the end they will find a deal in the end. Um, so let me see if I find any uh, when there is any news. So there is still 20 days left for a trade deal between India and US. And he's doing what he's usually doing. I mean, threatening, 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 threatening. But at the end, a deal will be reached sooner than later. But we have seen the aftermath of tariffs already, okay? We have seen it in Europe. We have seen this morning in Japanese economy. The Japanese economy slowed down a bit, or at least it slowed down, but the growth was not as much as it was expected, because we have seen some of the damage that tariffs actually have done to the economy. Sorry for that. So indeed, the economy will be affected as well, but there is still time for a deal. They have another 21 days for the new rate and the new threat to come into effect. So in the meantime, during the trade talks, they should avoid such a scenario. But tariffs have a negative impact in the economy. This is for granted. Take it for granted. Sorry. Sorry. So, um, yeah, there is a lot of fussle with India. Let's see. Afternoon. They will reach a deal if India does not buy Russian oil. Yeah, but I don't feel that India doesn't have like some hidden cards that they can use and amend some of these terms in his threats, right? We never know really what actually has been agreed other than what they are willing to announce. But yeah, that's still Europe, by the way, guys. So just checking the news. Cable is on the upside, euro dollar on the downside. Gold. Let's see gold. Do we have any clarity? No. I'm afraid gold, other than these mornings like ups and downs, it's a bit boring right now. There is no lack of clarity. However, guys, this is gold, by the way. I jump back to the gold to see whether there is any. The picture was a bit clearer. But other than the fact that we have an immediate 33.75 support, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. And even if that breaks, it would just indicate another $4 lower, another decline up to 33.71, another 4 points lower. But there is a lot of consolidation, I'm afraid. I believe it will get back as soon as. Yeah, put it. There will be a US Russia summit, but I don't think there is a clear date yet. Let me search. Trump and put it summit. I don't think that they just set upcoming days without. Is it that have they agreed in a? Okay, they agreed in upcoming days. So do we have actually a date? No, I don't see any confirmation. I mean, when this meeting will take place. They just announced that it's in the upcoming days. So no clarity in regards regarding when Putin and Mr. Trump will meet. That's basically regarding the end of the war in Ukraine, an attempt to end the war. So possibly Mr. Zelensky will be there as well. But yeah, we don't have anything, I mean, certain. I mean, a confirmation on the date at least. Yeah, nothing from that perspective either. So, guys, if you don't have any questions, I'm gonna call it a date. Then by 2:30 we could buy euro dollar if the unemployment comes below. Always remember, dear. Okay, let's get back to euro dollar. Okay. Okay. So let me just hide this one. So we are saying then by two half past. Okay, I guess you're okay. So in 15 minutes you're suggesting, right? Yeah. Okay, 15 minutes we could buy euro dollar if the unemployment claims comes below the previous one, since it will be benefit to the US economy and vice versa. Okay, right now the decline in euro dollar suggests weaker euro against a stronger dollar. Okay, the decline in euro dollar suggests that euro is weaker right now against dollar. So a really big miss, let's say, of unemployment claims, a really big miss, theoretically should support even more the the dollar, okay, against euro. So that means further decline. However, remember that jobless claims is a weekly data. It's not, I mean, it doesn't cause significant volatility unless if we have a big surprise. So a big miss or a really big a bit of the forecasts. Anything in line or really close, it won't change the overall direction. But yeah, it's vice versa what you said. If unemployment claims increase significantly, okay, increase significantly, so more people became unemployed, that's a sign that the labor market is weakening even more. So that gives a thumbs up to the Fed to detect interest rates. So that should be negative for dollar. So we should see a reversal on the upside. If unemployment claims come below expectation, that means that, oh, we don't have as many unemployed people as we were expected. Okay. So that means a quite strong labor market. So in this case, we could see, in this case, we don't have the thumbs up, let's say, for the Fed to cut rates, but instead they will probably keep rates unchanged. So that should be negative for euro dollar. Remember, what we're seeing over here is euro dollar. So a decline on euro dollar means that euro, that dollar basically is stronger than euro. So for $1, we are getting, yeah. So an up rally in euro dollar suggests weaker dollar against euro. Okay, don't mix them up. Remember what's the base currency and what's the quote currency. The quote currency in this case is dollar. Base currency is euro. So for less dollars, you are purchasing X euros if it's going down. If it's going up with more dollars, you can buy €1 and vice versa. Um, on gold, yeah, well, I mean, still unemployment claims are really, it's a weekly data. It could affect the market, but we need to see a big surprise. Okay, it's mostly the headlines. Keep an eye on the news, or just rely on what you see and not what you think. Okay, so rely on what you see. Are you seeing bullish signs? Are you seeing bullish crosses of the moving average? Are you seeing consecutive bullish candles? Are you seeing momentum improving? Then yes, that would be a bullish signal. If you see the vice versa, that would be a bearish signal. Okay, so rely on what you see and not what you think that it will happen. So sorry. Yeah, a strong dollar. Yes, a strong dollar suggests a bearish move on the euro dollar. A weak dollar suggests a bearish move, a bullish move on euro dollar. Okay, but remember, it's also the interaction between the two. So don't overcomplicate. Just stick on what you see on the chart. Yes, Theoretically, yes. What is not effective? The data as such, the particular data. I'm not quite following over here, Naibusi. What do you mean? No, it is if you have a proper setup on. Are you using any indicators? Do you have a strategy? You need to do a technical analysis as well. If you're relying only on the fundamentals, then you need to go in a higher time frame. Then you're a day trader or even a weekly trader. If you rely only on the fundamentals, on the economic data, and if you however you want to trade in a scalping a 15 minutes chart, 30 minutes chart, then you need to do some proper technical analysis. No matter, you don't need to like use mine or something. You need to find indicators that work for you. You need to find your own setup, and obviously which time frame you want to trade and you are good at. So in this way you are increasing the odds of taking the right decision. So by saying trade what you see and not what you think, I'm referring to analyzing the chart from a technical perspective and see, is the bullish momentum rising? Is the bearish momentum increases? What signals do I have? Do I have bullish crosses? Do I have consecutive bearish candles? What my MACD is saying? So this is what I mean. Rely on what your charts are telling you. So I can see some consolidation indeed ahead of the data. So we've seen that it's improving a bit. So we have just 5 minutes away. We are just 5 minutes away from the um, from the data, right? And that's, we have indeed see some improvement. But remember, this is a 5 minute chart. 5 minute chart. Yes, in a 5 minute chart, yes, indeed, there is some there are some bullish signs. Okay, so yeah, bullish, a crossing of the moving average have bullishly crossed, the pointing higher, stochastic is pointing higher. So ahead of the data, we have already some push of euro dollar higher. But be very careful. This is a really fast environment, so you need to put your risk and reward ratio, target level, stop loss level. So the next resistance in such a fast environment is 116.60 level. Immediate support would be the 116.46. Slightly the previous swing high. I've used just the previous swing high. I mean, it depends what kind of a trader you are, what kind of time frame you're trading. Yes, indeed, ahead of the data, the past 10 minutes, we are seeing some support on euro dollar. We're seeing like it's moving slightly higher. But this is a 5 minute chart. This could be another swing, another lower high, like this one, and so on and so forth. Okay? So actually, that one was a bit higher. It was over here. Okay, yes, ahead of the data, we could see it kicking this trend line before swinging lower. Indeed, there is some bullish bias, but this is a 5 minute chart. I repeat, a 5 minute chart. What I had covered earlier, it was much higher scales. Okay, it was the sell-off that we have seen so far today. So don't, I know that I'm jumping from one time frame to the other because I want to show you that different approaches. But what you should do is stick to one or two time frames. Find the strategy that works for you on that particular time frame. Okay? So, guys, I'm gonna call it a date. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. Take care. A lot of things are expected from in the US Open today. Comments from Mr. Trump. We already get some. Uh, um, we might see also some news related with Japan and US trade deal, some adjustments and amendments that they had to do. So that would be important. India and US trade um, discussions as well. Stocks in general are on the upside so far today because of uh, um, sorry. So where is it? Because we had a rally in AI stocks. That's why. So let's see whether it's still on. Yeah, stock market is still well supported. So let's wait and see. Okay, guys, have a great day ahead. Let's see the euro dollar. The data right now are out in a minute. But I repeat, this is a jobless claim, so it doesn't mean that they will surprise significant the markets. No, okay. Is any comment? Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. Take care and see you again next week. Thank you. Bye bye. Oh, pop, 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 pop. What is it doing? It's trying to decide what happened. What's the data? Let's see. 220. Missed expectations slightly. Slightly though. Sorry, beat expectations. Okay, so okay. Beat expectations. Continuous jobless claims also beat expectations. So that insists, that confirms the slowdown in labor market. So yeah, that would be a thumbs up for a potential rate cut. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.